Hey, it's Hannes Knechtke and welcome to your first guitar lesson ever. We're about to learn here not only how to play cool songs, I will also tell you how you should grab the guitar, how you should strum the guitar. I give a lot of cool tips, and if you want to learn even more, check out the link in my video description here. There you find my free lessons. Tons of cool stuff's going on there too. It will be a good basis to understand everything you need to become a great guitar player. So let's start out with your first guitar lesson. You have to tune your guitar to sound good. A lot of beginners fail and say, oh, I'm not talented enough, or I suck, or whatever, because the guitar is detuned and they don't know about that. I mean, you probably have a tuner in your pocket because you can just download tuning apps which show you the correct pitch of a string, and you could also buy like a clip tuner like this, just, I don't know, 10 bucks, 15 bucks, whatever. You put it on your headstock of your guitar, you turn it on, and it shows you if your guitar is in pitch or in tune or not. But I want to let you know how the names of the strings are. And the first string, which one is the closest to you, is actually called the sixth string. So don't get confused by that, but this is an important thing to know. If you look up things on the internet, you get confused by the labeling of the strings. So the lowest string, which is sounding the lowest, is called the sixth string, and it's called E. Then you have the A string, the D string, the G string, the B string, and the E string. So how can you remember all this? I started out with kind of a stupid memory sentence where the string names were the first letters of a word. So it was like, eat all day, get big early. I don't know, it's like E-A-D-G-B-E. You can come up with whatever you like. It's just important that you remember the names of the strings, and that we have like the sixth, fifth, fourth, third, second, and first string in that order. Because also a lot of tuners show the string names or even the number of the string. This one shows, like, for example, the A. If I hit the fifth string, this is the A string. So light. Green light, we need the green light, yeah. Thank you. This is the E string, you see the letter there. Green light, please, green light, yeah. D string, G string, B string. And what was it called again? Correct, E. So, when your guitar is in tune, let's check out what we can do with this. We can play stuff within the frets, we can play notes, single notes, we can play chords, and we can do a lot of other cool stuff, but where do I grab those notes? This is the most important question, because, I mean, you can have shapes looked up on the internet and still they sound like... And you need to know how to actually play those notes. So, for example, if you want to play a note in the third fret of the low E string, which is this string here, take your middle finger, for example. 1, 2, 3. This is the third fret, or it's kind of like a field which is separated by those metal or steel things here, which are called the frets. So first field, second field, third field, which we call frets. So push down the string in that third fret as close as you can to this metal fret here. Don't push the string down here, close to the second metal thing, but close to the third. See the difference? It's way easier to create a note, create a tone in that position than it is here. If I use the same pressure, my fingertip, you hear that buzz. I need to push way harder to create the note. So it's easier here. That you grab as close as it's possible. I mean, it's not always like possible to be so close to the frets. But don't push down the strings on the frets. So this also creates a really kind of tone. Hear the difference? Don't push on the frets. It's right next to it. So, please play that note. Third fret of the low E string is called G. And this is where we also build our first chord. Okay? You are supposed to have the counter pressure to build up the pressure on the string with your thumb. Don't have your thumb like there, or there, or there, or whatever, I don't know, here. Crazy stuff going on there, saw that also once, but try to avoid that. Then you put your index finger in the second fret of the A string and the ring finger in the third fret of the high E string. Then you hit all 6 strings. Might sound like this. Try to really use your fingertips, and what could also happen is that the back of your fingers touch the very next string and block it. So take a look at my middle finger here. Then I play the next string, it's dead. Because my finger is lying, I have to put it up straight. So I don't touch the A string with the back of my middle finger. And really check your chord, if it's going right. Take a look at my hand, how it looks, and take a look at your hand, where the thumb is, and take a look at your wrist here, if it's in some position like this. This is not good. Try to be as straight within your hand as possible. Also, my hand touches the back of the neck like here, kind of like going there, like this. And then I place the fingers. The thumb is giving the counter pressure here. Okay, let's have a strumming pattern on that very first chord. Just downstrokes first. Keep it easy. And important to give yourself some breaks. Take away the pressure because it's very stressful for your hand at the beginning. Shake your hand to make it really feeling good, and we don't want any pain in your hand or something like this because you're pushing it too hard for, I don't know, 10 minutes in a row or something. Then you experiment with your pick, which you place between your thumb and your index finger, just like this. And then try to play soft and play loud. A lot of stuff is within your guitar, a lot of details that you can get out also if you're a beginner. It's also about sharpening your ears, of course. Okay, let's go to the next chord. This was the G major chord, and now we're going to the A minor chord. Index finger in the first fret of the B string, which is the second string. Ring finger in the second fret of the G string, which is the third string counted from down here. The middle finger goes into the second fret of the fourth string, which is the D string. And now, that also might again sound like you really use your fingertips. Put up the fingers straight so they don't block each other, and then build up the counter pressure with the thumb. I'm again landing here with this part of my hand, the back of the neck. Be as close as it is possible. I mean, the middle finger can't be as close to the fret as the ring finger, of course. But just keep that in mind. Don't push the chord here, push it down there. And then you change between those two chords, because chord changes is like, wow man, this is the tough stuff. Do this like in the tempo you can. Your fingers need to know where they go. Take a look at my thumb. It's nearly the same position all the time. And then you do this. You play the G chord and then you play the A chord. 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. And A minor. 2, 3, 4. And then we change to C major, which is kind of similar to A minor. When you go from there, from A minor, you need to lift up your ring finger and put it into the 3rd fret of the A string. The rest stays where it was. So index finger 1st fret B string, middle finger 2nd fret D string, and ring finger is going to the 3rd fret of the A string. And again, remember, get as close to the frets as possible, not on them, but as close as you can. It makes it way easier for you to produce a sound. And then you go back to G again. So, let's play all those 3 chords. If you still need time to change between those chords, which is absolutely normal, take your time, press pause, and make a dry exercise between those 3 chords. Please do me the favor and don't blame yourself for not being ready already. This is kind of crazy stuff already, but I think you can do it by just doing this dry exercise. And if you do that in the next days, always make sure you just take a close look at your hand. Does it look natural to you? I mean, there are a lot of things that you can think of, but remember those. Push down with your fingertips, have the fingers straight, have the thumb as a counter-pressing element, and give yourself rests. Because after a while your hand will be like really stressed out and will kind of like feel pretty heavy to push down those strings. So give yourself rest, shake your hand and go again. Do this, this, and this. Be as close to the frets as possible. Have the fingers straight so they don't block strings by accident. Use your fingertips, okay? So I will just show you something what you can do with this. Hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I say, G, A minor to the C and back to the G. Or if you use just A minor and G, A minor to the G to A minor to the G to A minor. I mean, pretty famous songs out there. A lot of more stuff is waiting there. You know, those chords are like must-know chords because you use them for billions of songs, really. And if we add some more chords there, of course, more doors open for more songs. So, if we also use the next chord, our 4th chord here today, the D chord, we have a lot of more songs that we can play. So, put down the index finger in the 2nd fret of the G string, the ring finger in the 3rd fret of the B string, and the middle finger in the 2nd fret of the high E string. So this is 1st string E string here, middle finger, 2nd fret, ring finger, 3rd fret, B string is the 2nd string, and index finger, 2nd fret, G string, which is the 3rd string. And we don't play the low E string and the A string there. Again, remember, be as close to the frets as possible, but don't push it on the frets. Fingers need to be straight standing, the ring finger tends to block the first string there. And again, remember, do those dry exercises between those songs before you kick it out and try to play a song. You can do that, of course, but try to keep it simple. I mean, play an easy strumming pattern there first. When you change between the chords, just strum down once and then go to the next chord. You really need to focus on your grabbing hand, I think, to master it. I mean, you can always speed it up later, but get the chords done correct, you know, in a good way that makes it easy for you to play those chords. So, G, be as close to the frets as possible. Have the fingers straight standing. With the fingertips, please. And go to A minor. So we have G, A minor, C, and to D. I mean, those changes between C and D, all the fingers need to take a different position. This is quite hard. Get this done. C, D, C, D, C, D, and so on. Do that for 5 minutes again. Those dry exercises. And make a rest. Give yourself a rest, man. And then you play every chord, strum every chord once for 1 bar. 3, 4, 1, 2, the A minor, 1, 2, 3, to the C, 2, 3, to the D, 2, 3, 4, to the G, 2, 3, 4, to A minor, 2, 3, 4, to the C, 3, 4, to the D, and from the top, 2, 3, 4, to A minor, 2, 3, 4, to the C, 2, 3, 4, to the D, 2, 3, 4, to the G, 2, 3, 4, to A minor, 2, 3, 4, to the C, 2, 3, 4, to the D, 2, 3, 4, to the G, 2, 3, 4, to A minor, 2, 3, 4, to the C, 2, 3, 4, to the D, 2, 3, 4. We already played, or I showed you how to play 2 songs with those chords. Another classic that you can play with those beautiful chords is knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. It is G. Knock, knock, D on heaven's A minor. Let it ring, A minor for 2 bars. G. Knock, knock, D on heaven's C. And again C, let it ring, and to the G. Knock, knock, D on heaven's A minor. Let it ring for 2 bars. Or and for 4 beats. Knock, knocking on heaven's C. And again for half a bar, G, 1, 2, D, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So half a bar G, half a bar D, a whole bar A minor, and again. You get the idea of it, okay? It works for all the songs, those techniques, how to practice your chords and chord progressions, and those are so important for everything you do on the guitar. No matter what level you are, you can always improve on the way how you grab the chords as close to the frets as possible, because it's easier. You can save energy with this. You can save pressure in your hand with this. And now, let's go to some more rhythmical. now we're going to focus just on the strumming hand. We're using the D chord here, and I probably assume you already recognize this. It was kind of like a Proud Mary-ish rhythm going on there over the D chord, D major. Index finger in the second fret of the G string, which is the third string. Ring finger in the third fret of the B string, which is the second string. And the middle finger in the second fret of the high E string, which is the first string. Be as close as possible to the frets. And then you do a down, and then you do an upstroke again, immediately after the downstroke. And then there's a special sound we want to create with our guitar. A dead note. We create that dead note with a downstroke, but at the same time you hit the strings with the pick. We damp the strings with our edge of the wrist here. The moment I hit the pick with the strings, I hit the strings with my wrist too. From down, downstroke. Try that first. And try to land with your pick after the downstroke beneath the E string, because after that we have to do an upstroke again. Okay, so we have down, up, that note, up, down, up, that note, up, down, up, that note, up, down, up, that note, up. The cool thing is, when you do that dead note, I also can relax for that very moment my grabbing hand and save some energy in my hand, because I don't have to push down that D chord all the time. And so it's like down, up, that note, and in the same moment I relax my fingers. I just release the pressure, and then I'm ready again already for the upstroke. So take a look at my grabbing hand here, as close as it's possible. You see how my fingers just go up and down again. And again, make rests, give your hand a chance to relax a little bit, shake the hand, shake your hand. And what I always like to do to warm up my hands is something like this. Open your hand and close it pretty fast for a couple of seconds. This really lets the blood rush into your hand and makes it really more flexible. And I think it's important to always remember what's the basis of a good chord. See you in our next lesson, our next video here. I'm Hannes Knechtges. See you. Bye.